This video will be two parts. One is for the everyday carry camera bag that I go out with on a regular basis when I'm home in Oslo, Norway. The next section will be the big 45-liter travel backpack where I put everything I need to be as creative as possible while out on longer travels. Let's go! But first, why has everything changed? As the title suggests. I think I've got rid of at least 60% of all my camera gadgets over the last couple of months. That's why I want to make this video again, because I've massively downscaled everything I own. Particularly focusing on the lenses that I had. I sold 50% of my lenses with very good reason, to create more with less. Yeah, that's just my modus operandi when it comes to content creation. So everything has changed in terms of what I put in my camera bag. Let's start with the everyday camera bag. That is my Peak Design 6-liter sling bag. Very good, durable sling bag that fits everything I want to bring with me when I'm out on short camera adventures doing my street photography. That is the thing I do the most. I'll be honest and say that sling bags aren't really my favorite bags. I'd rather have a small backpack, because the sling bag, when I put it over my shoulder here and it's full of gear, it irritates my shoulder a little bit. Maybe I'm just getting old, I don't know. What I put in it is my everyday camera, the Fujifilm X-T5. I normally have the 23mm that I have on here now. This lens lives on my camera body, and I do have my 90mm for a wide variety of shots that I can make with this street photography combo. I also made a video about that. You can watch that up here if you want to. I am a prime lens kind of guy. That's why I bring two lenses. If I was in the zoom market or like that better, I would only carry one lens, a mid-range zoom lens. And I think the best one in the market for Fujifilm today is the 18-50 f2.8 from Sigma. I've used that before. Great lens. But I'm a prime lens kind of guy, so that's why I have two prime lenses in my everyday carry. I'm going to have a look in the drawer for this next item that I put in my everyday carry. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Osmo Pocket 3. This camera right here. Absolutely brilliant camera if you're a relaxed adventurer. If you're more of a action kind of person adventurer, I'd rather go with the GoPros or any other action camera that can take a splash of water and is weather and dust resistant and all of that. For me as a street photographer, I love this because I can film POV style when I'm out doing my street photography and I want to show examples of what I do, for example. It's a great B-roll or behind the scenes camera where I can film myself doing the different things when I find a spot or something like that. It's just a very versatile camera. It seems a bit fragile, but I always take it out of the sling bag when I'm out walking and put it in my pocket with no protection. You can see here, it's a bit, yeah, it seems a little bit not so sturdy, but it is. I just put it in my pocket, fire it up like this. You can see here, it fires up relatively quickly, which is something I value. That's something I want in an action camera or POV camera. So I think the creator combo will give you the most bang for your buck if you want an extra camera to film behind the scenes, POV style, photography video or anything like that. The mic is also good-ish. I've heard some complaints about it online. I don't mind. I just think it's a very good setup for any type of content creator out there, especially for me as a street photographer. And this is not a sponsored video by DJI in any way, shape or form. I just love that little camera. It's the one that has impressed me the most, and I've used GoPros for my POV videos before, but that was just, I didn't feel it. This, I get the great feeling, and that's what matters when I see a camera or see an accessory that I want to use, I want to bring with me. Makes all the difference in the world. I have my little blower right here, excellent if it's a dusty environment, and also my lens cloth. Yeah, that goes in the bag, and all of this fits in that 6-liter sling bag if I pack it nicely. And of course I do have extra batteries and memory cards for my Fuji X-T5. Oh yeah, you have to have that. And that's pretty much it. I think this is a bit more than I'd like to put in the bag. I just use the bag for storage, and I space the things evenly out in pockets or around my neck or on my wrist. The camera always goes on my wrist with the Peak Design wrist strap right here. That kind of goes without saying. If you want to see a video about great accessories for your Fuji camera, you can watch this one after. Anyway, let's talk about the big bag, and I'll divide this into 3 sections because there's a lot that goes in there. The photography gear, cameras and lenses, the accessories that would be tripods and stuff like that, and electronics, computers and how I stay productive, how I organize everything, my footage, my photos, and back them up, etc, etc. The bag itself, it's a Peak Design 45 liter, so it's a huge bag. I would honestly go for the 30 liter now that I've downsized so much, getting rid of all the lenses and all the extra accessories that I didn't use anyway. So a 30 liter would be perfect. I actually asked Peak Design to sponsor me with a 30 liter for this video. However, they did not reply. In any case, it's a very good brand that I like and trust. The thing you need to know about Peak Design is that they don't include these camera compartments inside of the travel backpack, at least not the 45 liter. You have to get these packing cubes separately, but it's worth it. I have a medium packing cube, I think, that fits both my cameras and all my lenses, plus some extra bits and bobs, as they say over in the UK. And the advantage of the 45 liter is that I can pack extra things as well, such as clothing. And Peak Design also have these clothing tubes that lets you fit all your clothes in there, and you can zip them with a Ziploc. It takes a very little room in your camera bag or your very big bag with extra space, such as mine, the 45 liter travel backpack. So very good system, very modular, and you can expand however you like. They have packing cubes in medium, small and big sized, I think. And they have these things for clothing as well. And the big backpack also goes as cabin baggage, which is very useful. Just make sure to pack it as light as you can. We got stopped a few times where they actually had to weigh the bag, and I sneakily took out my packing cube, put it on the side, weighed the bag, no problem, and just snuck it back in there after we were done checking into the flight. So a bit sneaky there. I don't understand why they do that, as long as the bag fits on the overhead compartment or under your seat. Anyway, that's a little trick for you. Very good with the Peak Design travel backpack. You can just sneak out that camera packing cube and yeah, hopefully you'll get through. Otherwise, you have to reorganize your checked-in baggage and your cabin baggage. That also happened a few times when I couldn't sneak it out. Very, very annoying. Also a good reason why I downsized a lot of my gear. That was a bit of sidetracking from my end, but I thought it would be worth mentioning if you want a little hack on how to get through that 8 kilo limit on your checked-in luggage on at least some of the budget airlines out there. The Peak Design sling bag also goes inside of this, so I can take it out when I arrive to my location and just use that sling bag and have the big backpack as the base of operations, if you will. Yeah, let's call it that, base of operations. On to the fun stuff, the camera gear. If you've been following the channel, you know I have my X-T5 as my main photography camera. Then I have my X-H2S that I'm currently filming on here. For lenses, I have 4 of these lenses, and mentioned in this video why I scale down all my gear and that stuff, and that would be the 13mm Veltrox, filming on this in my tiny studio here. And I have the 23mm and 33mm weather resistant f1.4, both of them from Fujifilm. And I have the 90mm f2 from Fuji, one of my favorite lenses of all times. I absolutely love that lens, especially for night street photography for some reason. Great tele lens. And all of this, the lenses and the cameras, they fit in this packing cube from Peak Design. That also fits nicely in the travel backpack. Very smart system. The Osmo Pocket 3 also goes in the big backpack for the same reason it goes in the small backpack. Excellent B-roll camera, vlogging camera, or what have you. Great camera. And this is the interesting part. I value smart accessories that should serve several purposes, and let's start with the monopod with the attached mini tripod from iFootage. It's the Cobra 3 mini tripod and monopod system that comes in a kit. I absolutely love it, and it replaces my big tripod that I used to bring with me. When we went on our year of travel, I think I used the big tripod once in Africa. No more. the monopod with the mini tripod does the job perfectly, unless there is a lot of wind, but you just work around that to save room in your travel backpack and in your luggage. Great mini tripod, this one from iFootage. I've used this for years, love their products. They have some really solid accessories to your camera, especially for travelers. I bring my microphone, I use that up here. You can't see it because it's just out of the picture, as it should. Any good microphone should be very close to your face and out of the picture. But that's the Rode NTG video mic, I think it's called. I'll leave a link to all the gear down in the description if you want to check it out. But this is a fantastic microphone if you want to vlog, if you want to do some vlogging stuff. This is great. Or in the studio like here. So this goes in the bag as well, and it's not that big. And it's you can charge it with the USB-C, so there aren't any batteries you need to think about or anything like that. It lasts forever. This is an accessory that isn't for everyone, but for me it has been very important. It's my Leatherman. This is a multi-tool, and it's great for screwing on base plates to your camera or whatever, but I wouldn't put it in my checked-in luggage, then you'll lose it at airport security. So if you have a checked-in baggage, that's where I would put this one. I travel a lot in Africa, and if you do any sort of adventure travel, a Leatherman can save your life. A Leatherman plus a roll of duct tape has got me out of some really tricky situations with a very bad car that I used in Africa when I was there for 6 months by myself, and I use it all the time when I'm there for many different things. So Leatherman is a great idea, not just for your camera, but also if you're an adventure traveler and you have a very crappy car that breaks down all the time, as happened to me. You can watch the full series up here if you want to see what I do in Africa. Speaking about adventure travel, this is also a great idea to have with you. It's a small flashlight from Lenser. Wow, this looks cool when I hold it up like this. If traveling to Africa sounds exciting to you and that's something you want to try out, definitely get a flashlight so you can flash or look for lions in the night when you have to do your thing. That has also happened a few times when I was traveling there.
De rett utenfor.
Also for if you're traveling in places with limited electricity or hiking or anything to do in a tent in a forest or whatever, flashlight is a great idea. Lenser has by far the best ones. They're super strong and you can charge them with a USB cable. So there's that. Get a Lenser flashlight, good quality right there. Links in the description. Then being a bit of an old school kind of guy, I also bring a notebook. I like to sit with a notebook and write down ideas if I'm in a location like in Africa where I don't have access to electricity. I can charge my computers and all that stuff. So a notebook is very nice to have. You can sit there and doodle and maybe you're into drawing or stuff like that. Just write down ideas. Get a notebook and an actual pen. That sounds like an excellent idea. I'm definitely going to try that. Now let's talk about our ultra fancy new electronics. It's very important when you want to be productive as well as backing up everything that you do with your cameras. And the first one is obviously my iPad or Mac, depending on how long the travel is. If I'm going for 1 month plus, I will bring my MacBook Pro. If it's a month or shorter, I would probably just go with my iPad with the Apple keyboard and the Apple Pencil. It's a great tool right there. And I'm slowly switching over to Lightroom Mobile and just get my photos and everything else up in the cloud, so I don't have to bring the big MacBook, because it's a hassle as well and it weighs a ton, especially considering you only have 8 to 10 kgs to bring as your cabin baggage on those budget airlines that we love to use as travelers. Then I have 2 times 2 terabyte SanDisk SSD drives. They are the best. I used to use the Samsung T7 or T5s before, but I think these are better because they have this protective plastic rubbery casing around them, so I just like those. A matter of personal preference, I guess. I then have a card reader that I stick into my iPad when my memory cards are full, and I just transfer everything up to there, or in my computer if that's what I bring. Extra memory cards, of course, that goes into this Peli case right here. Very sturdy, small, durable. awesome little pelly case for memory cards. Get one of these. Cables, chargers, and of course a power bank goes in my tech pouch. Very important, and it keeps things organized. Same with the SanDisk hard drives that I have, also goes in that tech pouch. I think that's very important for an extra layer of protection and organization. You want to get that tech pouch. And Peak Design, as always, they have an awesome tech pouch for you if you want to check it out. That pretty much sums it up. On a daily basis, whenever I get to where I'm going on longer trips, I will reorganize everything and use the big travel backpack as a base sort of operations, like I said, and just bring the sling bag when I go on hikes or street photography adventures or photography adventures. This is where the most used items live. And the motivation for me to get rid of all this stuff that I've now got rid of comes from our year of travel. We got back in August 2024, so I thought about how much I sent back with friends that came to visit us in Africa and in Asia. I think in total we had to get an extra or buy an extra suitcase, fill it with stuff in both Africa and in Asia and send back home. So it's a really good idea to scale down so you don't exhaust yourself while you are traveling, and you can enjoy it more, you can create more with less hassle of lugging along all those extra things that you might not need anyway. Biggest takeaway, I did not use my tripod, so never going to travel with a tripod again. I didn't use my 16-55 f2.8 and a bunch of other stuff that I just brought with me just in case. And you don't need those just in case items.